Hi, I'm Aaron Newcomb, and thanks for joining me today. As a storage administrator in a previous life, one of the things that always bothered me was it was very difficult to manage and troubleshoot all the various storage systems in my IT environment. So I thought I'd look for an expert who can help me explore this problem and hopefully find some resolution to how to manage and troubleshoot storage systems. All right, so I found an expert to help us address this problem of managing and troubleshooting storage systems. And that expert is Dan Maslowski. Dan, thanks for agreeing to spend a few minutes with me today. I really appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
Now, Dan, what do you do here at Oracle?
Well, I do a lot of things. My title is Director of Software Engineering. Right now, I'm managing and leading the ZFS file system, as well as the Oracle Appliance Kit and the ZFS Storage Appliance Analytics, which these are two very powerful technologies that allow us to provide our storage.
Tell me, do people really have a hard time managing and troubleshooting storage systems, or is it a breeze for most people?
Well, they're getting better, but it's actually a very significant problem for the vast majority of our customers. The number one complaint we hear is that my systems are complex, they're hard to manage, it's hard to figure out what's going on. And here at Oracle, we really took that to heart with the building of the ZFS storage appliance. And we're trying to answer the question, what's going on in my storage system, and how can I make it easier to manage and administer?
Why is it so difficult? I mean, the storage industry has been around for forever, and you hook a disk up to a system and away you go, right? I mean, I don't understand, why is it so difficult?
The problem is it's not just a disk, it's thousands of disks, and it's thousands of storage enclosures, and it's thousands of servers. And the complexity for a system like that becomes just out of this world in terms of the levels of detail and the nesting of all the controllers and the interfaces, etc. Plus, it's not just disks, it's the interconnects, it's the way the clients are talking to the target, it's the multitude of protocols, it's the number of file systems and the number of operations you can perform in those file systems. So it's really a very, very complex ecosystem, and it's doing very, very complex things. We're managing essentially everything. Arguably, the storage device is more complex than the computers that are managing them because the computer is doing an operation at a time, whereas a storage device may persist your data in some cases until the end of the republic or until the end of your company, which hopefully is arbitrarily far away.
What's different about this ZFS storage appliance that you're talking about? I mean, what's different about the interface that makes it any easier for people to do that?
Well, so one of the answers is to simplify and to provide really rich information in a way that our users are comfortable consuming. So, as you know, the web ecosystem has grown tremendously in the last 10 years or so. And we've taken the complexity of the command line and made it much easier to consume in something we call ZFS Analytics. It's predicated on not only the Solaris operating system, but also two technologies that we're very proud of, fault management architecture and dtrace. And both of these give us rich information very quickly and very easily.
So give me an idea, what does this look like?
Rather than talk, why don't I just show you about the ease and the power of the user interface with the ZFS storage appliance. It's very easy to use and really cool, and I think you'll enjoy spending some time with me on it.
All right, sounds great. Let's take a look.
All right.
And we've got this big screen with a lot of graphs and stuff. Tell us what we're looking at.
Absolutely. You're looking at our master dashboard, and the idea here is to give you, at a glance, a visual representation of all the interesting things that are going on in your system right now. Over here we have some usage statistics. This tells us about the services that are going on. This is our hardware. And then we have utilization graphs over here. So for instance, and I talked a little bit about the weather metaphor earlier, right? So right now, a sunny day at CPU. We've got acres of CPU. We can do all kinds of interesting things here. Our network is doing fine. Disk, we have a little bit of stuff going on, as you can see by this graph here, but it's still, a sunny day here. Look at our NDMP. We're at a hurricane right now, which means that we're doing a tremendous amount of throughput right now. It looks like 299 megabytes per second, which is, that's about theoretical maximum for this kind of a configuration. Our backups are going very, very quickly right now. If you look below that, we're not doing a lot with NFS or Fiber Channel, and FTP is pretty empty. Down here we have some recent alerts. Tells us some of the things that have gone in our system that maybe we want to go take a look at, right? So for instance, the external sensors indicate that our power supply is no longer operating correctly. As a storage administrator, I want to know about that because that tells me not only do I have a problem, but this is where I need to go, and this is probably what I need to go do to fix it. What else? So all communication with the cluster peer has been lost. So obviously we've triggered a failover event in the storage appliance, and so maybe my head node is down.
So this is like a system where you have two controllers,
right,
and one of them has failed, basically. Is
correct,
what this is telling
or at least failed over. So
okay,
or maybe we've broken the heartbeat link between the two. So
right,
it tells me that I have a problem, and that being a storage administrator, I know what I have to do to go fix that. And
right.
And these are only 2 recent alerts. So
okay,
that's pretty good.
Well, this is great. This is a lot of information. I mean, just right away,
absolutely,
a lot more than I think you would typically get with this type of application, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it tells me at a glance that everything is healthy and NDMP is going really, really fast. And so, the good news is I know my backups are going. I know that the storage device has plenty of space left to service my users at this juncture, and the current load is not extreme. So actually, it's really a good thing to have NDMP going as fast as it is. It means my backup is going to take less time. I could throttle that down if I had extensive fiber channel or NFS traffic and sort of balance the system if I wanted to. So yeah, it's a very powerful piece of information technology.
Okay, well, I want to drill down on some of this information and see if we can really see if it's easy to troubleshoot when you do have a problem.
Sure.
But first, let's talk a little bit about management. This obviously gives an easy way to get a glimpse of the system. What about configuration? Are there easy ways to go in and configure storage for servers?
Absolutely. So Robert, who's driving for me, why don't we go into share management or configuration management? Go ahead and select that. So this at a glance tells us the shares that we have. We can create new shares. Go ahead and create a share, Robert.
Now this is for an NFS type connectivity, correct?
Absolutely.
So we're doing a share, but we can also do fiber channel connectivity and those kinds of things as well, right?
Correct. And we've tried to keep the metaphors as similar as possible. So the idea being that if you figure out how to do it once with NFS, that you can extend that metaphor for the other ones, right?
Okay.
So, and here we have a brand new share, very, very quickly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Why don't we take a look at the analytics right now? So as you know, we were doing a backup job. So let's see exactly what's going on with that backup job. Robert, why don't you show me some of the reads and writes that are going on? So Robert's selecting NDMP bytes transferred by disk and broken down by top of operation. And here's our graph. We've got 211 megabytes a second in reads. Going to add another statistic. And here we have writes. So,
oh, wow.
Very quickly, we get a chance to see exactly what's going on.
And I can see these at the same time,
absolutely,
which is great.
But here's the other thing, right? So if I have this amount of traffic going through my backplane and running to tape devices, sometimes you want to know exactly what's going on too. So let's take a look at the CPU and see how much it's costing me in order to do this backup mode.
Now this is the CPU of the storage system.
That's correct, right? So I want to see if I'm really busy or not. And I can tell you, because at the glance we looked at it and it didn't look really busy, but let's take a look. So here is all my cores. Looks like I'm a 24-core system, and it looks like I'm running probably about 20% of
about 20%
maximum, and that's actually really good considering that I'm saturating the NDMP channel. This is a really good way of looking at sort of the overall health of the system.
So this way we know that the NDMP traffic, it's busy, but it's busy because it should be busy.
Correct.
Not necessarily because the system is slowing down and not allowing that traffic to occur.
That's correct. And now, if we had a collision of a lot of busy things, right, then we can start making decisions about how we do backup operations, or how we, maybe we don't have enough storage, maybe we don't have enough spindles in there to drive the I/O throughput. So again, very, very quickly, in the space of about 2 minutes, we've taken a very deep dive into what's going on in the entire ecosystem of this appliance. We can make some reasonable decisions. Before, you used to have to parse log files. You used to try and ask the users, hey, did you guys just launch a backup job? There was really no way of gathering all this information quickly and making rational decisions on it.
What other types of things? Can you look at the memory of the system? What
Absolutely. So we can look at the cache, we can look at data movement, we can look at disks, you can look at your network interface, you can look at your protocols. So each and every one of those things are customizable. And again, as I said earlier, a lot of times as a storage administrator, you have specific things you care deeply about. Maybe you're the backup storage administrator, so you'll build your own analytics worksheet that sort of manages those things. But maybe you're the SAN administrator and you care deeply about the fiber channel operations that are going on. Or maybe you're the disk administrator and you care about sort of the health and welfare of the current spindles that are on there. You can customize this and build it any way you see fit.
So now I could take, I guess, snapshots on my Windows PC. I could take a desktop snapshot if I wanted to save this, or is there an easier way to save the information?
You absolutely could do that if you wanted to, and then you could write it on your whiteboard and you can manage. No, we don't recommend that. What we suggest is that since we have the ability to persist this information, we can store this for a long period of time. You can go back and look at it historically using this interface. You don't actually have to do the snapshot interface. And since it's a remote login ability, you can actually have other people come in and log in and look at it with you at the same time. So very powerful, and again, we persist this information, right? Time-stamped, etc. So you don't actually need the notion of a screenshot any longer.
Wow, that is really cool. Well, thank you so much for showing us. I mean, I think we've really kind of addressed some of these issues that we were talking about earlier. This really looks like it makes it a lot easier both to manage and troubleshoot issues with the way you can drill right down into a given problem. So thank you very much for taking the time to come out today and show us this. This is great.
You're more than welcome. We're very proud of the engineering staff here at Oracle. They've done a tremendous job. They've taken very complex quantities of information, large quantities of information, and made it very simple. And so they've done a fantastic job.
All right, so Dan gave us a great way to actually solve this issue of managing and troubleshooting a storage system. We can drill down, find out what's going on, and correct the problem very quickly. In fact, Dan told me afterward that you can download a virtual machine off the Oracle website, and you can run it on your laptop and even share iSCSI LUNs out to other servers or systems on your network. So go try it out. For now, I'm Aaron Newcomb. Thanks for watching.